Donald Trump cannot, on his own, and no president can get rid of a department that already exists that was created by Congress. Department of Education, the funding, the structure, everything was part of a legislation that was created by Congress. The only person that can get rid of Department of Education is Congress. Now, the only thing that Donald Trump can possibly do is underfunded, restructure it, do some sort of things like to dismantle it, to almost try to make it effective. And even that he cannot do, because in order to do something that drastic to a major department, he has to go through proper process and procedures. What are those procedures, you ask? The procedures are he has to have an open notice and comment period where he asks and invites members of the public to chime in. If he makes a decision that goes against what the majority of people in the who participate state, it would be deemed arbitrary and capricious by any court, and it would be ruled like unconstitutional. They had to go right back to where it is. They do not. He doesn't have the votes in Congress, because Congress right now is a slim majority. The Senate, Republicans only have a 4-vote majority in the Senate, and they have something like a 6 or 7 vote majority in the House. So you would need something like 2/3 to remove the Department of Education. They don't have the votes. They can enter these. You might see them enter these legislation. Let me tell you about the legislation they're entering. Total bullshit, because it's for show. They do it to say I did something. If you go through the history of legislative, like drafting bills in the history of the United States, you're going to see like almost millions of them that go nowhere. They absolutely go nowhere. But you introduce them so you can tell your constituents that you're doing something. So you can tell Donald Trump, look, I'm helping you along with your cause, knowing very well that there's no votes in Congress to get rid of the Department of Education at all. And not even that, the constituents in the red states are not interested in the Department of Education being dismantled. I can tell you that for certain. So even if there was a vote on it, a good chunk of Republicans would not do it, because they will face hell. If they're afraid of Elon Musk using his money and muscle to get behind an alternative candidate and making them lose, via primaries, so they don't ever make it to the general election, they wouldn't have to worry about Elon, because their own constituents will primary them for them. They will not. If they were to vote to get rid of the Department of Education, there's a lot of Republicans in the House and Senate that will no longer be in the next session. They will lose, because enough people do not want the Department of Education to go. That's something that's across the board. There's almost no appetite from Republicans or Democrats, no matter if you're MAGA or not. The only people that want to get rid of it is a small fraction of, and I talk about that in another video, of people, but not even the majority of MAGA don't want that. So the Department of Education is not going anywhere. And like I said, even if they try to dismantle it and nitpick and pieces like that, that's going to be challenged. And at the end of the day, a lot of the stuff that Donald Trump does, as I said before, it's a lot of just puffery and blustering and just bullying and just going down there, just doing a lot of stuff just to flex muscle.